Fantastic. So, yeah, so just I guess a little bit about me, or maybe we could I'll just maybe kick off a little bit about unstoppable domains. So, our focus is we're building Web3, or I'll do an introduction on myself. So my name is Pavel. I'm on the partnerships team. I joined the company shortly after we launched in 2019. I was the first business hire, and I've been largely focused on building out our partnerships ever since. So that's me. And yeah, a little bit about Unstoppable. So we're focused on building Web3 domains that people use for their digital identities. Web3 domains, for those that aren't familiar, it's just a suite of smart contracts on a public blockchain. In our case, we're building on Polygon at the moment. The idea behind Web3 domains is that instead of one company controlling the data, users' data online, the power is transferred back to the people. So by being built on the blockchain, anyone can look at the data stored there, creating a level of kind of ultimate openness and transparency that really wasn't possible before with kind of like your Web 2 online experience. So that's us in a nutshell. Yeah, I guess in terms of our mission, it's to create user-owned digital identity for every person on the planet. And kind of like the vision of the company is to give people the power to own their data, which will drive equity and privacy and empowerment for billions of people. So I think those are like our official mission, official vision. So I'm reading them word for word here. So yeah, just some kind of high level numbers, kind of describe kind of where we're at with the business. So, these are two numbers that we're very proud of. The first is we have 3.6 or over 3.6 million registered domains right now, which by that metrics makes us the largest Web3 naming service in the world right now. In terms of number of registered domains. The other statistic that was just referenced, which I'm personally very proud of because it's my team, is that we have over 860 partner integrations. So these are basically companies that have taken the time to integrate support for our domains. So our domains basically serve some kind of function inside over 860 applications. Just kind of on that topic, growing our ecosystem of partner applications is super important to us since it's what provides the domains with utility. So when domains work in popular applications, they offer increasing value to the users, which is why we're so excited to work with WhiteBIT. Maybe one other statistic that's just interesting and not on this page is we have so these 3.6 million plus domains are being stored on over 1 million unique wallets. So that's probably kind of like the best on-chain number that would kind of indicate how many users we have. So just a little slide here in terms of kind of, our growth, how we got to that 3.6 million number. So yeah, I think we started getting our first customers early 2019. I joined, mid 2019, took off a little bit. It was basically just me though for the first year and a half. And then we hired a chief operating officer, and she built the team out, and so the number grew a lot from there. And then yeah, same thing, just kind of with the with the integrations, kind of how that number grew. This chart's a little old, so we ended it here at 806, but over 860 now. The other interesting kind of number around this is that a lot of the partners that have integrated us have integrated basically resolution, which means that somebody can type a domain into their application, like a wallet or an exchange, and it routes a cryptocurrency transfer to a wallet address. And so most of our partners integrated via our API, and that API gets over 30 million calls weekly. So I don't think that's all individual users looking to route money, but that is the kind of the metric that we're seeing around the resolution API usage. So I'll spend a little bit of time on this slide just to kind of talk about what are these domains used for? Why are they useful? I just highlighted some of our top use cases here. I know more about some than others, so I'll spend a little bit more time on some of them. But yeah, one of them is encrypted email. So you can send email using a domain. You could email me at darkshark.nft, at skiff.com. And the email, it's being sent privately, since it's not so you don't know exactly, like, you don't need to know necessarily who I am. It's also an encrypted email, so it's kind of like privacy and security focused, and so that's kind of a cool feature. One of the things that I alluded to, on the last slide, is you can actually connect all of your wallet addresses, every single token, currency, everything, to one domain, and use that domain to receive payments from any of our supporting applications. I believe there's around 800, of the 860 applications, I believe 160 or 170 of them have completed like the resolution integration, which allows for routing of payments via domains. So that's kind of a neat use case that helps avoid human error of sending money to the wrong place. I know whenever I'm making transfers in larger amounts, my heart rate goes up, and maybe I'll do a little like test transfer first to make sure that the money arrives before doing the larger transfer. So this is kind of designed to hopefully help avoid that. We also have a messaging tool where you can actually send messages to other users via their domains, which is neat. We also launched something that we called Humanity Check, where you can prove that you're a unique person by just, it scans your face, and maybe, you would scan like some kind of like ID that just proves that you are a unique person. And then you can store that as a token to your domain. And then when you're accessing different applications, you can choose to permission to share that. So it's kind of neat. You go through that process once. That information isn't being stored with any of the applications that you're logging into with your domain, but you can choose to permission which applications you want to receive kind of that piece of information, that you are a unique person. And for a lot of our DApp partners, that's interesting because there could be a lot of wallet addresses that are connecting, and they don't know if that's the same person or unique people. So sharing that you're a unique person gives them additional information about you that could be used to maybe like reward or incentivize you in a way that wasn't possible otherwise. We also can, the domain can function as like a digital business card. You can link all of your social accounts, kind of like a link tree to your domain. We have these like profiles where you could go to like ud.me/ and then the domain. We launched these automatically for every single domain owner, and it stores all kinds of information about you on the web, and people can access that from any browser, and it has all of your social links, any information that you attach to your domain, any badges that you own are all visible on that page. Another use case is launching decentralized websites. So this is pretty neat. The combination of the domain being self-custodied, where only you as the owner of the domain have access to it, and the combination of using like a peer-to-peer network such as IPFS to host the content makes the website censorship resistant, because the domain can't be taken away from me, whereas a traditional Web 2 domain can be taken away from you, and the content can't be taken down because it's on a peer-to-peer network, whereas with the traditional like cloud hosting, content can be taken down. And so this kind of creates a different type of experience for someone who's launching a decentralized website than what you would get on a Web 2 site. And we have a few browsers that support us natively, such as Brave browser and Opera browser and Puma browser and some others. We also have extensions that support us. So anyone using certain extensions would natively be able to resolve our domains. Not native in Google Chrome yet, but we are working on it. So yeah. And then we have this badging tool as well, where you can issue badges, which is actually what this next slide shows. So this is an example of the profile page that I was referencing. This is a page for an NFT project, but as an individual domain owner, I could have a page as well. With this particular page, Pudgy Penguins issued a badge through Unstoppable Domains, so you can see everyone who's holding the badge. Different people can sponsor their own badge based on different attributes of a Pudgy Penguin. You can issue people badges. And then there's this messaging component as well, where you could send a message to all badge holders or any kind of subset of Pudgy Penguin owners that have a certain type of badge can be messaged using our tool as well. So it's kind of like this rewards component and community, more social component to these domains as well. And then I just wanted to take a second to talk about this initiative that we started, I believe it was earlier this year, called the Web3 Domain Alliance. There's a lot of naming systems out today, and there really isn't kind of like any kind of regulation or even kind of like structure for what rules are for what good behavior is. In Web 2, there's ICANN, which is an organization that issues TLDs on DNS, but there isn't anything like that in Web 3. And so in Web 3, with these naming services, we have seen that there have been incidents of multiple naming services launching the same TLD, which can be very harmful to users, because if there was an application that happened to support both naming services and they have the same TLD, funds could potentially be routed to the wrong person. So we created this Web3 Domain Alliance where we kind of kickstarted it. It's not ours. It's but there's I think like around 50, 60, 70 different partners. Most of the major naming services have joined, including some applications that resolve domains that are kind of interested in facilitating good behavior as well. So we're trying to grow up and put some self-regulation around this stuff, and hoping that we can kind of help build the future of Web3 naming. So I think that's my last slide. So I think I finished almost 15 minutes, and happy to take any questions.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Pavel. It's a great pleasure for us to have like veterans like you in the industry. Yeah, you definitely see activities. I mean, since 2019, you survived all the bears, like I said, and like you also said, like you have almost a telephone book full of deserve it, because this is an outstanding initiative. And I would more questions about that, because in most cases, Web2 website owners have to pay like yearly costs and additional fees to keep their websites functional. Do Web3 website owners have to pay yearly for yearly for yearly for new renewal costs and other fees through unstoppable domains?
So with some Web3 naming services, you do. I know, like, kind of maybe the other most popular one is ENS. So with that one, for instance, they do have annual fees, and there's some benefits to it, which I can talk about. But yeah, we firmly believe that shouldn't be the case. So with unstoppable domains, you definitely do not. Kind of in our mind, our domains are ERC 721s. They're fully custodied and controlled by the owner. So if you fully custody and control something, like, it probably shouldn't be taken away from you. And with annual renewal fees, you could lose something that, therefore you maybe don't fully control, right? If you forget to pay it also, the thing that we didn't like about it when we launched, is it could potentially become like an attack vector as well. Like, let's just say you launch a website and like a government says, take this website down. We can say there's nothing we can do. Full stop. Like, there's actually nothing we can do. Sorry.
Amazing.
Domain, we can't take it away from them. Our hands are tied. If there's an annual renewal fee, like, theoretically, like, that fee could be raised to like $10 million next year or something. Like, it maybe wouldn't happen, but it is, it does kind of eliminate this sense that it is truly yours and yours forever. So yeah, we don't have any renewal fees. So yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant, especially maybe against like censorships and any type of that stuff. You bring a lot of perks to the industry compared to the traditional one, and like no year fees. Us, like, what do you want more? So
yeah,
thank you for.
I think our users appreciate it for sure. Yeah.
No brainer. If I hear your partnership list, sir, like, outstanding job. And yeah, I have not to address, like, you offer a lot of perks that the tradition not. But however, privacy is like such a heavily discussed topic in this space. There's some privacy perks available for Web3 services too on Unstoppable.
Yeah, totally. So I'll talk about kind of what's available today and really kind of our our vision for the future. Because I you know, the main, I don't know if everyone in our company would agree, but I believe the main benefit of Web3 domains is privacy. It's, you know, and the tech necessarily and isn't here today, you know, in its entirety, but I think we're definitely heading in this direction. So I guess the first thing is, you know, when a Web3 domain is purchased, the owner can choose not to share any personal information about themselves. So only, you know, the only available information about the owner of a certain domain could be the wallet address, which is kind of a nice, you know, someone can buy a domain and kind of have it just be anonymous. But in terms of the features themselves, the domains do offer some unique privacy features. So I did already talk a little bit about email forwarding. You know, you could send an email to me at darkshark.nft@skift.com. It would conceal my identity, provide end-to-end encryption, but it doesn't have to just be email. So you can also use a Web3 domain for, as I mentioned, direct messaging, you know, even in-app messaging. You would just send those messages to the domain owner. And again, the domain doesn't have to be, you know, associated with any specific person in some kind of traceable way. But I think the bigger idea here is kind of what I was slightly alluding to with the humanity check, which it's an optional feature. It kind of goes against privacy a little bit, that one feature, but it's an example of what I'm about to talk about, which is as a Web3 domain owner, you can choose to attach information about yourself to your domain. So such as your browsing history, really anything, all kinds of different information about yourself and your online behavior can be attached to the domain and can be kind of stored and controlled by you. And then you permission only certain applications to access only certain information that you choose. So you basically, even our experience when you use a domain to log into an application, which is our most common integration, you know, over 600 of the partners that have integrated login, where you, instead of connecting your wallet, you type in your domain when you're connecting to a DApp, and then you have a checklist of what information that you stored to your domain you want to share with that particular application. So this is really the big promise of decentralized identity in general, and one of our key value propositions. In the Web2 world, this information is stored and controlled by tech companies. But in Web3, it's user or can be user controlled and permissioned. So, you know, again, this is the future here, but imagine you want to own and share your health information or your vaccine records or your voter registration or your financial information without using centralized governments or companies. You could do that with this technology. NFTs allow you to own and share data in Web3 domains, arguably the best form to do so with. So it really is kind of the big value prop, and we're investing and working towards making it a reality.
Wow, you opened my mind. Like, I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing. You can actually have like the best perks of privacy, but at the same time, you can as you desire, and it actually opens so much use cases and possibilities. So thanks for opening my mind, sir. I have one more question. Unstoppable Brain, you have like all these partners, and I was wondering, like, how did these guys achieve it? There must be like something really big also happening, that you're contributing to brand awareness growth and extra revenue. So can you tell us a little bit of the experiences of your partners? How do you contribute to those two elements?
Yeah, absolutely. And it, I mean, most of them didn't come inbound. So we do a lot of reach out. You know, Andrew and from the WhiteBIT team can definitely attest to that. So we definitely do. You know, we think it's important, so we're very proactive about growing that ecosystem. But yeah, we do our best to promote our partners and bring awareness to their products and services. Partners in turn, you know, help educate their users on the benefits of Web3 domains. So, you know, we think it's a symbiotic relationship. The value to users varies depending on what type of integration the partner's done. But the most popular integrations that, you know, I mentioned earlier on this call are facilitating the transfer of crypto using human readable names rather than long wallet addresses. And then also using the domains, you know, to log into dApps, you know, which provides portable identity, reputation, privacy benefits. So I do think partners are interested in marketing these features and adding, you know, this type of robust functionality to their applications for their users. Also, I mean, we just, within Web3, like we're kind of all in this together. We believe in blockchain technology to solve financial transactions, digital ownership. And together we need to build an increasingly usable ecosystem. So, we're all kind of working together to bring on the next 100 million users. And that's top priority for us to be, part of that ecosystem and to help our partners grow as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, no brain initiative has gone like massively into this to make it happen. I also quite close with WhiteBIT. They're like an amazing initiative. Are you also mapping out to on their WhiteBIT system as soon their network is completed? Contribute on that?
Well, the work that we've done to date is that users within the WhiteBIT exchange can withdraw using domains. So instead of withdrawing to a wallet address, they can type in a domain and make a withdrawal via the domain. But yeah, we're open to discussing any and all, collaboration opportunities. So that's kind of at the moment what we've done, but happy to have any type of conversation. Yeah.
Amazing. I think that will benefit both parties. And just like a final question, I've straightforward. Web3 is all about ownership. Imagine that I have my own unstoppable domain, and I change or edit, modify at any time. Like if I want to private or maybe super transparent, can like domain make these additions if they desire to?
Yeah, you can choose to share information about yourself, like contact information. A lot of people who've bought domains in the past have done so also speculatively, and so their domains are kind of available for sale, and so it helps to have contact information for that. So for sure, that's something that can be added and removed. Some people also buy a domain that's like pavelrodel.crypto. So that's hard to make anonymous. I guess you can't take that back. But people kind of choose to associate themselves with different types of domains depending on kind of what their goals are. You asked a question about transfer as well. The other thing that we just try to make things really easy. So we allow people to buy the domains using a credit card if they want. It's a little less private if they do that. But, you don't have to have crypto to buy a card, and you don't have to have crypto in order to mint the domain. You don't have to have crypto in order to make changes to the record. So we actually cover gas fees for all of our users for their domains. And so it's really easy to make changes to the domain record without having to have any kind of cryptocurrency. You can do so. We pay for the gas fees on behalf of our users, just trying to make things really simple.
Wow.
So that's
super. That are all from my side. The answer the transfer, so many more possibilities with Web3 domains than I thought. And yeah, you have survived so long. So I can see you guys so long time. So
hopefully.
yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Rodel, for being here. I wish you a day. Bless your team. Experience next DemoDay events in the future.
It'd be great. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. It was nice meeting you as well.
Nice. Have a good day. Goodbye.